Hey everybody, Hiking Bob here. Today I'm going to show you a quick way of using the route feature in Colorado's COTREX, Colorado Trails Explorer app and website to create routes that you can share with your clients or your friends or other users, or as I did when I was writing my column at The Independent, when I would write about a trail for people to hike, I would use that app and create a route that people can either print out or download or bookmark or whatever they wanted to do to be able to follow the hike that I had described. So I'll go into screen sharing real quick and we'll pull that up and I will show you how to do that. It's actually pretty easy. First, the URL you want is trails.colorado.gov, and I use it so often it's already on here. And that will bring up the Colorado Trails Explorer website. You'll need to, if you want to share this and save this, you'll need to sign in. And you can see up here in the right-hand corner, I'm already signed in. This will allow you to save it. So if you don't have an account, you can create one real easily. I don't ask for a whole lot of information. The advantage of sharing the advantage of creating an account is that when you also look at your app on your phone or whatever device you have, everything carries over to be able to do that. So that's one of the things that's advantageous of creating an account, and you can't save anything unless you have an account. So I opened this up. We're opening up on Colorado Springs, and I'm not going to go into all the details of what this does right now, but up in the upper right-hand corner here, you can see where you can zoom in. You can also use, well, the plus and minus keys for some reason on the keyboard don't work. So you can just zoom in real easily using that. So find a trail for or a hike that you want to do or that you want to show somebody. For example, what I'm going to do today is just look at this loop here, which is the Palmer Red Rock Loop, which recently reopened after they had a rock slide. And I'll show you how to plot that and create a route that you could then share with people. So up in the upper right-hand corner here, you see this thing looks like a architect's or a drawing compass. You click on that, and then you will bring it to your start point. Now, I do recommend zooming in as much as you can when you do this, and you could also drag this around by holding down your mouse key and dragging the map around. Put it where you want to start. Now, I'm going to start it here. As you can see up in the upper right-hand side here, I'm going to start there. It's not exactly where I'll be starting, but it's close enough. It's at where the trail meets the road, for those of you familiar with it. And I'm going to click there. So that's the start of the hike. And then you can distances. So as we're doing this here on the left-hand side, you'll see the measured distance. So according to this, we're 0.4 miles from the start, half a mile from the start, and we just keep moving along until we get to where we want to make a turn, which is right here. You can see it toward the bottom. So we're 0.9 miles. Now, what's really nice about this is on the left-hand side, you can see the generate elevation profile. If you click that, you also get an idea of the elevation gain. So we have 418 feet of ascent and 5 feet of descent because it goes up and down. And so we're creating an elevation profile on this. So we started out at 6,625 feet. We're at 7,000 feet. And then just continue following this around until you go all the way around. And if you make a mistake, for example, suppose I make a mistake here and go the wrong way. If you click the circle with an X, it erases the last place you stopped at and it goes backwards. So if I let's go back here. If I go back here to the intersection and I missed it, I can just hit this X and it'll go back to the last spot, which is also another good reason to hit numerous spots along the way instead of doing one big, hitting, making waypoints a long distance apart, because then you have to go all the way back. So I like making them as close as, not real close, but when there's a turn or something like that, I find that's advantageous. If you miss something, and sometimes COTREX will plot to a nearby street instead of the trail. So you can fix that by just clicking the circle with an X and going back to the last waypoint before that. So we'll just work our way around here real quick. Now, a couple of things to know about COTREX if you're not familiar with it. It was created by Colorado's Department of Natural Resources, and it has become kind of the official trails app. All the trails you see on here are only put on here by the government agency that is responsible, excuse me, is the land manager for this piece of land. The land manager owns the land and the trail. So what happens here is instead of being a crowdsourced thing like All Trails or Gaia or something like that, which can have their issues, they can be not necessarily 100% accurate. If somebody's, they can put a trail on here that may not be an official trail or something along those lines. So any trail that's on here has been officially vetted by the agency. They submit these to DNR. DNR puts them on here and makes them available to the public. The app is free. The website is free. All this is free, paid for by, I guess, tax dollars or user fees like CPW does. So here we've gotten our loop. We're 5.25 miles in, as you can see on the left. When you do an elevation profile and then you add on to the trail, that elevation profile is no longer valid since it only did it the last time you asked for it. So you'll see this now says refresh the elevation profile. And here you'll get the elevation goes up and then it comes back down, how many feet of ascent, how many feet of descent. This will track you along a road. So if you're going to come back down, if you're going to have your users come back down the road, you can click on the road and bring them back to your start point. And we have a distance of 5.5 miles. And we've refreshed our elevation profile. So from here, you can save this as a route. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here, and you can do that here. So this is the route. Whoops. And here's an example of a mistake I made. I accidentally clicked on the map, but hit that X and got rid of it. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So here you can see the route they created. It's in red. So over here on the left side, I'm going to click Save as Route. I'm going to click it for hiking. And I can add, I clicked it for hiking and it went to that, but you can also add other activities in here. And you'll see if we zoom in here, you'll see that it now has this route in the direction that I drew it. So this is important too. It'll create the route in the direction that you draw it. So if you want, I like doing this hike clockwise. So that's the way I drew it, and it'll draw that exactly the same direction. So now you actually have a route. Over here on the left, you'll see where it says it's an unnamed route created by Hiking Bob, Bear Creek Canyon Park. It is listed as private. It's 5.5 miles, 1,476 feet of ascent. There's the elevation profile. So what I would do here is from here, I'm going to edit the route. And you see way down here at the bottom, it says edit the route. So I'm going to edit the route. And from here, you can do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to give it a name. Palmer Red Rock. It helps if you can type good. Optional subtitle, section 16. And I'm also add activities. This is also open to biking, so I'm going to add that to it. The difficulty level, this is kind of your guess. I call this a moderate trail. Any tags, if you want to do it, it's a loop. You can also add other tags. For example, if there is a, I know it has dinosaurs, it's dog friendly because dogs are allowed on that trail. Let's see what else we have here. It is scenic. You can add whatever descriptors you want here. There is wildlife up there. You might see a bear. Right now it's listed as private. That's the default. We're gonna make this public. So we'll make this a public one. You can tag people if there's somebody else. They have to have somebody has an account here. If you have pictures, you can add them to the route. Now, the other thing here is right here below activities where you can write an overall description of what will go on here. So I love adding a lot of information here. I did this when I was writing my column. So I'm going to put in here popular loop hike in Colorado Springs. Easy to moderate, great views. Then usually I'll add if there's anything people need to know about any. So I'll type in here, leash dogs are permitted, can be busy on weekends, and anything you want in here. This is kind of my favorite little description in here. If you're giving a route on a place that requires reservations, or if it's a place that may have fees to enter or things like that, you can put that in here. You can also put links in here if you want to put links in here. So basically now I have created this route called the Palmer Red Rock Loop in section 16. It's open to hiking and cycling. I'm not sure about horses, so I didn't put them in. I don't think there's any place to park nearby with horse trailers. So I think that's the limiter there. I don't have any pictures to add to it, but it's all set to go. So I click Save Changes. And now this trail is listed on here as being a route. Now up here at the top, the URL, this is the link that you will give people for this. So you'll copy and you'll select it and copy it. Now this is the link you will use to share with people who want to do this hike. And basically, this is it. This is the very basics on how to do one. People will go on there, can write a trip report if they want to. They can do all kinds of stuff here. So it's pretty cool. If you go to my account, which if I click here, let's see, click here to my profile, and you can see recorded trips and custom routes. So if you click that, you'll see all the routes that I've created, that I've shared. Seven Bridges Trail. Some of them you'll see here that if they have a lock, that means they're private. Other ones that have the globe means they're universally available, so they're available there. And a lot of these I did for my columns at the paper and stuff, and I share them. And what's nice is that instead of having to go to a lot of pain and trouble of trying to share a hike with somebody, you can just create a custom loop. And I just did this for somebody who emailed me the other day, this Green Mountain Loop up in Boulder. Somebody was asking me about that. So I created a route and just sent them a link, and boom, they had all the information they needed there. So this is a quick and easy way to use this app to create a route that you can share with people. I hope this works for you. If you have any questions, you can email me. Go to my website at hikingbob.com and look for the contact link there and just write me a note and I'll get it. Thanks for watching and hope this works for you.